Good morning, everyone. It is so wonderful to see you all today. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Jay Kim, the Executive Director at the Foundation for MetroWest. It's certainly an honor and privilege for me to be in this role, and again, really excited to have you all here. When I reflect on the history of the Foundation, and I think about how this organization was founded, right? It was a group of really dedicated, passionate people with purpose. They really cared about their community. They wanted to make a difference. They wanted to engage. And that's how the foundation was founded. And then a few years later, Youth and Philanthropy was born. 25 years ago, 2,500 students have graduated from Youth and Philanthropy over those 25 years. It's pretty incredible. And then you think about the $1.5 million in grants that have been provided to nonprofit organizations over those 25 years. And that's to nonprofit organizations serving young people. So then what's the impact of that? That is thousands and thousands of people being impacted by Youth and Philanthropy over the years. And there's so many people to thank for Youth and Philanthropy, for how it was created, for the evolution of the program. And of course that starts with, as the video shared, the former executive director, Ruben Orduña, who is here today, the founder of Youth and Philanthropy. And he did that in partnership with Becca Dunham, first program officer that ran Youth and Philanthropy. So we thank both of them for getting it going and getting it off the ground. And then so many other staff members over the years who have nurtured the program, helped it grow, made it even better. People like Jennifer Ubaldino, who ran the program for so many years and did an incredible job, impacted so many young people. And then you have Julie Williams, who, as you saw in the video, helped us copyright the curriculum, but she made some incredible advances in the curriculum that we thank her for. And then of course our current staff, Matt Jose and Caroline Murphy, who are now leading the program and doing a fantastic job in maintaining that legacy. And of course I have to thank Judy Salerno, my predecessor, former executive director at the foundation. She did an incredible job stewarding the program forward with her vision and her leadership. The program is where it is today, and it's still going strong. I also want to thank all the instructors, and there are a lot of instructors that are here in the room that had an incredible impact on the young people, and they just did a fantastic job over the 25 years. I also want to thank all the funders and the donors who made this program possible. Right, you can't have this program without that support, and there are just so many incredible people and organizations. And there was a real effort to say, hey, how do we keep this program going? How do we make sure that generations and generations of young people can experience this really important and powerful program? And so endowment funds were established. And the Concord Commonweal Fund is the first fund that was established, an endowment, and it actually currently still funds 5 programs annually. Then a group of foundation trustees and supporters said, hey, let's endow another program. Let's make another one that can live on forever. And so in 2016, the Natick Youth and Philanthropy Program was endowed. And that was led by folks like Ken Vanna, Pam Lesser, Meg Ramsey, and Bob Rands. So thanks to all of you. And then in 2019, the Wellesley Youth and Philanthropy Endowment was founded, thanks to folks like Brian and Susan Kavujian, the Community Fund for Wellesley, and many other donors from Wellesley, including our co-chairs for today's event, the Walter family. So thank all of you. And of course I want to thank Patty and Paul Gannon, our honorees today. I had the privilege of getting to meet Paul years ago when I worked at the Boston Foundation. Paul was a trustee at the Boston Foundation at that time. And then I had I was lucky enough to land here at the Foundation for MetroWest. And so when I was first exploring, hey, I want to check out this Foundation for MetroWest, I saw on their website that there was someone named Patty Gannon on their board. And I was like, okay, So that really gave me confirmation that, okay, if Patty Gannon is involved with this organization, they must be doing great things. And so I know we'll hear more about Paul and Patty later, but I just wanted to make a few comments about sort of their vision and their contributions to youth and philanthropy. And so they both realized, look, this is a great program, but it can be even better, right? And so they realized that let's put an investment in, a capacity building investment, to really figure out how to grow the program, to make it stronger, to find ways to engage alumni and engage parents. And so thanks to their gift, we were able to have people like Julie enhance the program and grow it and make it even stronger. So Paul and Patty, thank you so much for your contributions. And to all the incredible, individual donors, family foundations, corporations, trustees, anyone that's given, whether it's $10 or $10,000 to support youth and philanthropy, we can't thank you enough. And of course, youth and philanthropy doesn't work unless you have incredible nonprofit organizations. And so we are proud to say that 169 nonprofit organizations were supported through youth and philanthropy over those 25 years. Again, $1.5 million. And the impact goes even beyond the dollars, right? If you think about the hundreds and hundreds of kids who, after they finished the program, stayed with organizations that they supported. So as you can see, right, Casey still works with Family Promise. And so many of our young people volunteer at organizations, they serve on boards, they do fundraisers, and they even run the Boston Marathon to support organizations. So we have a really amazing 2016 Youth and Philanthropy alumni, Katie, get her name right, Katie Hennessy. She was also a junior board member. So a few weeks ago, she ran the Boston Marathon for A Place to Turn, and she raised over $10,000. She finished the race. I don't know what her time was. I probably should have known that. But she finished the race. She brought awareness to the program. And so again, the impact kind of goes on and on. Thanks to the families, the parents, the guardians, the mentors who supported our young people through the program. Without their support, obviously it wouldn't work as well. And then to the alumni here. There's a lot of alumni here in the room. Thank you for making the commitment. Thank you for engaging in your community and for giving back and making a difference. So if you'll just indulge me for a second, if everyone here who has been impacted by youth and philanthropy in some way, whether you are an alumni, whether you're a parent or a guardian, whether you're a donor, a nonprofit, if you wouldn't mind standing up for a second. Anyone that's been impacted by youth and philanthropy. Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so of course, today is about youth and philanthropy, of course, right? Celebrating youth and philanthropy. But I want to shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit about the foundation and talk about our mission and some of the initiatives that we're doing here. I know there are some folks here that don't know us well, and so I want to make sure that when you walk out of here, you really understand who we are and what we do. So yes, we run a fantastic youth and philanthropy program, but the reason we can run a fantastic youth and philanthropy program is because of all the things that we do in the community. It's really about all the incredible work that we do beyond this program, and we can provide this top-notch program because we have knowledge of the community, right? We have relationships with nonprofit organizations, and really our mission, right? It's about how do we improve the lives of everyone that lives here in the MetroWest. So what do we do? How do we do that, right? What is our role as a community foundation? Yes, as a foundation, we are a grant maker. We provide grants to nonprofit organizations. That's absolutely something that we do. We also provide capacity building support to help nonprofits to be even more effective. We help them with professional development opportunities. We have knowledge, right? We understand the needs and the challenges that our community is facing, partly because we have this really fantastic resource, Impact MetroWest, which is a data indicator site. So with all that being said, we have our finger on the pulse, right? We know what's going on. But I think what is sort of special and unique about our role and what we do is that we are actively trying to engage people to get involved, right? That's part of what we do, right? And we take that very, very seriously. How do we get more people involved? How do we get people to give? How do we get people to get involved in their community to make a difference? How do we get people to become philanthropists, giving of their time, their talents, and their treasure? And so with that being said, I think we're uniquely positioned to rally people, specifically donors, around timely issues, right? So as an example, the pandemic, I think is a perfect example of what the kind of role that we play. Obviously, the pandemic was a horrible time, but because of our knowledge, because of our experience and our relationships, we were able to steer over $10 million to organizations, nonprofit organizations, serving our most vulnerable residents, making sure that they were fed, making sure that they can stay in housing, right? And we're really proud. We're really proud of that role that we got to play during that time. But another example of that unique role that we play, right, both as a grant maker and then what I would call a donor catalyst, is our new initiative that we've just launched called our Action Projects. And our Action Projects are really about how do we take the data that we have and put it into action and address our most pressing needs. And so currently we have 2 action projects going on. One is around equity in education, another around workforce development. And to date, we have impacted over 300 people in the last year with these projects. But I want to talk a little bit more about the data for a second. Because sometimes here at the foundation, we think a lot about how the foundation is perceived and how our community is perceived. In a lot of ways, our wealthier communities, to be honest, can sometimes overshadow the fact that we have communities with significant challenges and significant needs. And it's a perception that we're constantly battling, right? You're like, hey, not everything is just great out here in the MetroWest. So I really implore you to take some time with Impact MetroWest, our data indicator site. Take some time, explore, take a look, because honestly, when you do that, I think you'll discover, and there's a lot of things that are challenging. I think you'll be really, really surprised what you uncover. So as an example, you will discover that almost 60,000 people in our region live in poverty. Almost 60,000. So what's the poverty rate? It's 24,000 annual income for a family of 4. 24,000. Almost 60,000 people. I think you'll discover things like hundreds and hundreds of students, 3rd graders, can't read. They are not proficient in reading. Hundreds. I think you'll discover that 35% of families, 1/3 of all families here in the region, are considered financially insecure because of the high cost of living. So what does that mean? 35%, 1/3 of families are maybe a paycheck or 2 away from having some significant challenges. Or you'll discover that median income levels and home ownership rates for our Black and brown communities are significantly lower, right? And so this is challenging data, right? And I think, frankly, quite alarming. So many people facing really, really difficult situations here, right here in our own backyard, right? And that's what our youth and philanthropy young people learn about. They get to learn about the needs and the challenges that exist here. And then they've made a choice. They made a commitment to do something about it, right? They engage, they interact, and they make a difference with the work that they do. So I guess I would put out a little bit of a challenge to everyone here, that I think if we are going to change the narrative, if we are going to reverse those negative statistics that I shared earlier, we need more people to get involved, right? We need more people to commit. We need more people to engage, to learn. And so frankly, what we need to do is follow the lead of the 2,500 young people that have made that commitment, that have actually made a difference. And so I hope that more of you will join us, because again, We cannot do this alone. We need your support, we need your help if we are going to change that narrative. So thank you all very much for coming. Have a great day.